Hey everyone, welcome to the Marvel of Horror, where we discuss all things past, present, and future as they pertain to the horror genre. I'm your host, your friend, fellow horror enthusiast Bruce Marvel, and today is very awesome. We have filmmaker, comic book creator, kind of like a fucking renaissance man. It's really good to have him, Jim Cannatelli. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming, man. That is a fucking awesome t-shirt.
Oh, thank you.
It's a baseball tee, too. That's fucking,
Yeah.
that's the shit.
So I met Ron Chaney, who's Lon Chaney Sr.'s great-grandson and the Wolfman's his grandson. Sorry.
So good.
Fumbling over the words. But yeah, he was at Famous Monsters convention last year, and yeah, he sold these shirts, and really sweet guy. And I was like, dude, you're like horror royalty. Like,
I know.
your great-grandfather alone was such a revolutionist of just movie makeup, because
Yeah.
he did all of that himself, like the Phantom of the Opera, Quasimodo, London After Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
Man, London after midnight. I wonder if someone will ever find a copy of that film, and we'll actually get to see it one day.
yeah,
That'd be
see
fucking
your
cool.
Figurines of him up there. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, because I know I have, on this one DVD I have, it's a collection of Lon Chaney Sr.'s stuff, and one of the bonus features is it has like the script of London After Midnight and some like still photos, because that's all that
Yeah.
exists. But I'm like, I wonder if someone would. I'm curious of like looking up like this original script, and someone just. I mean, of all like the remakes we get, like that wouldn't necessarily be like a bad road to approach.
Did you ever see Mark of the Vampire?
I know Return of the Vampire with Bela Lugosi, he made years after Dracula, but Mark of the Vampire, yeah, Todd Browning, that was like the remake of his.
It was basically the
yeah.
remake of London After Midnight. And I gotta remind me after when we're done filming, I got this really cool book that my wife got me as a Valentine's Day present last year. It's called The Lost Film. It's a whole, like, I'll show you, it's got all sorts of like original newspaper clippings and like script stuff for that movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll let you check it out, man. It's really cool. What's like your first experience with like the horror genre? Was it like a movie you saw, or was it something that happened, like a show? Like what was like your first thing you can remember?
In terms of like my first horror movie, it was probably Jaws, because it was playing on TV one night, and my mom saw it listed, and she saw it in theaters in 1975. She was a little girl, and it was like one of her fond childhood memories. And she's like, "Oh, me and your Aunt Donna went and saw this, and it was so great. We're gonna watch this." And ironically, I was 9 years old, and it's the age she was when she saw it. So, and yeah, I still don't, mess with the ocean because of that movie. And even today, as a 33-year-old, I'm like, no. But so my mom introduced me to Jaws, and when I was at my mum and pup-ups, they had like a separate den where us grandkids could watch whatever on TV, and they had like I think it was a Halloween marathon. It was 1 and 2, so it was the first Halloween, because I specifically remember Laurie Strode hiding in the closet, getting a necktie, tying around the doorknobs. As a little kid, scared of the dark and everything, I thought, wow, she's a genius. She's tying. All right, cool. He ain't gonna get in there. And then what does he do? Kapoosh! Just like paper mache. I'm like, oh no, she's screwed. Now what? And she takes a wire hanger, just like bends it and stabs him with it. Then grabs his knife, stabs him, and runs off. I'm like, whoa! It blew my mind as a little scared kid. So I'm not gonna lie, I did have like wire hangers in my childhood class.
Did you practice like how fast you could straighten one in case like a killer came?
I think I did straighten one of them and just like hide in the corner.
I just want to see if this is going to work. I have to be sure. I've seen her do it. I know it can be done.
Little insurance just to keep the thing from the boogeyman.
Walk into a house with plastic hangers. Fuck.
Dang.
What are you going to do?
They break easily. Yeah.
Halloween is still like one of in my top 5 of like horror movies of all time. I still love that movie. Even
really
though I've
is.
seen it so many times, and still for some reason the nostalgic will never wear off for me.
There's horror snobs out there like, oh, that's so basic to like that movie. I'm like, screw you. Like that movie like is a monument of all horror movies.
It's it's a timeless classic.
30s and 40s. That was for late 70s. Going into the 80s, where the slasher genre became huge.
It did,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And with that, like a lot of things too, like that movie, I don't think people realize just how much like that was an indie film even for its time. You know what I
it
mean? Like
was.
that was a fucking straight indie film. I mean, you go
Yeah.
back and watch it with that like mindset. It's like, oh yeah, you can really tell.
'Cause I have the VHS at home, and I was looking at the back of the box, and I think it even says on there one of the most successful independent movies ever made. I'm like, oh yeah, it was independent.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man. Gives like hope that, like I said, that's got to give hope to like guys like you and
Oh hell yeah.
like not that long ago, I had the guys on great group of guys too. I had the guys from Clock Out Films
Oh yeah.
on the show. They're independent filmmakers, and they
Oh
made
yeah. I heard of them. I think I played a killer fisherman or something.
I was like, "Were you an extra in Slaughter Beach?"
I was Fishman.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was me.
That was that's right. It was you. Holy shit!
I talk very differently in real life.
Damn, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, that is fucking you. Oh my
Surprise.
gosh.
Yeah. I mean, Slaughter Beach is basically was meant to be like a love letter to 80s slasher movies and 80s comedies about like underdog comedies.
Well, I enjoyed Slaughter Beach, which you can
Yeah.
watch on Tubi right now.
Speaking of Tubi, we have a couple of feature films we made. It's called Yesteryears. If you love the Twilight Zone, mystery thriller type stuff, it's about a woman who wishes she could go back in time to her college days and make different choices. And well, she gets her wish, but a red entity like keeps sending her back through time and time again. And what time period will she stop at? Only you can tell when you watch it.
And it's on Tubi?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Our other feature is X-Night, Escape from Warp Hell, based off my gothic superhero. There he
Very
is,
cool.
looking all beat up and bloody after fighting a bunch of demons. So he fights demons in this purgatory realm known as Warp Hell, and that story is in volume 2 of the comic, and we're gonna make a sequel eventually. I'm writing it and working on new comics as well, and we did a short film recently called Mystic Metronome. It's part of
Mystic Metronome?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the ticking.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
not
make sure I
about
heard
piano
it right.
lessons, I swear.
Piano lessons from hell.
If you get this note wrong,
There might be a horror film like that, actually. But
let's look that Blair. Like I'm pretty sure there is. Like their hands are tied to the keys. Like that was a G flat, and now your fingers will be flat.
Did Argello
Pulls
do
out
that?
a hammer. Makes me think of that line from the Goonies. Like if you get this note wrong, we'll all be flats. And it's like
oh yeah, right.
the skeleton fingers. I'm like that was a really creative, like creepy piano, like or organ. Sorry, organ.
How dare you?
It was an organ, Jim, not a piano.
When you came in, you sat down at the table. Obviously, I put some things here. We're gonna talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk movies.
So
we're gonna talk
ADD's
stuff.
going. I'm like, wow, look at this and this and this in the room.
Right?
Like these Vincent Price like chairs, like these Hammer film chairs. I'm like, man.
Like my mom used to live here, and unfortunately, my mom passed away a couple years ago. And I appreciate that, but I always wanted a study similar to, like I said, the Hammer films or like the Roger Corman Poe films, right? So I was like, then I set out to do this, and I saw these chairs at like a antique place in Pittsburgh called Artifacts, where I got these chairs, and I was like, yeah, I need these. Like these things, I don't know if they must have came from like a church or something, but I'm like, yeah, I want these.
Wow.
I have to have these.
I'm imagining these in a church, like at the altar or something. Like,
Yeah, back in like the sacristy or whatever.
we don't have a communion. I assume I look at that camera. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. Try and look at that one, but I'm like all over the place. We break the fourth wall a lot here.
Your eye line's over there. It's over there. It's over there.
I'm just gonna stare at this Frankenstein monster over here.
Yeah.
So if it looks all crazy,
Here, the old phonograph over yonder.
yeah, that's actually like like it plays,
Wow, that's
plays
so-
records. Obviously, it's a study from a Hammer movie. I had to have a globe over there.
I'm like,
I couldn't fit a fireplace in here.
My
But
ADD and like horror nerd mind's like losing. And like, holy shit! Are we
Dude.
allowed to curse on this?
that is fun. Oh yeah,
Okay, fuck yeah.
fuck yeah. It's YouTube.
Yeah.
It's YouTube, man. It's YouTube, Spotify. Fuck it.
They were talking about horror movies, people being ripped apart, bloody mess everywhere. Oh, me guts, you know.
Yeah, right. We were just talking about Halloween. There's boobs, cussing, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah, that was So it was like a double feature because I remember the closet scene in Halloween, and then right after that was Halloween 2, and I remember the nurse gets killed in like the hot tub or something.
Yeah.
Fire's like. I was like, oh, I'm never going to a hot tub now. Jaws made me afraid of the ocean. Halloween's made me afraid of a hot tub.
Dude, I remember watching that, and I was like, man, that can happen. So the Claude Rains Phantom of the Opera. That's a very That's a very underrated movie. I feel like when people talk to Universal films, like obviously because the Lon Chaney Sr. Phantom of the Opera is such like an incredible masterpiece, legendary film. This kind of gets like downplayed a lot. It's actually really good. Like Claude Rains, he's the fucking man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was awesome that you pointed that out when you first sat down.
Frankenstein monster, Wolfman, Dracula, Mummy, Creature in Black Lagoon, or Gilman. You know, Elsa Lanchester's the Bride of Frankenstein. I was like, oh, he's got Invisible Man, which is another Claude Rains character, but you have his Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, that is really cool. Because I rarely see any kind of like merchandise for this guy.
Yeah.
Because I have this monster horror book, and occasionally they'll have like a one-page like kind of like art like drawing, and one of them is of his Phantom of the Opera. I'm like, wow, that's neat. And I think like maybe, and again, fact check us if I'm wrong. It may have been the first color Universal monster movie.
I think you might be right. I definitely think you might be right. Like I said, it definitely out of all of these, it's the only... I want to say there's a color version of the Creature from the Black Lagoon out there, but I think that's the one, it was actually done in like the Technicolor or whatever.
Yeah, but also it showed the origin of the Phantom, and you know, how he was this misfit and you feel bad for him, but you know, he goes deranged, kind of like Jack Griffin, the Invisible Man, where they start out as, you know, good men that were just trying to achieve something, and there are these roadblocks and things that are interfering, and they just kind of got lost in their own madness. And and the Invisible Man and the Phantom of the Opera, they both deal with the character having a love for a woman. He's trying to prove his love to her. In the Invisible Man, I like the love story in that one better, because like, I don't know, it felt very natural, where, you know, Jack Griffin's a struggling scientist, his girlfriend Flora, she comes from like a wealthy family, her dad's this, you know, honorary scientist, so Jack Griffin's like, all right, well, before I ask for her hand in marriage, I need to prove to Flora that I can provide for her. So he's like, all right, I have to come up with a new scientific discovery. All right, I'm going to use these chemicals and create invisibility. Little does he know, unfortunately, and the tragic part is one of those chemicals, they called it monocaine. When it makes your skin invisible, it affects your mind, so you start, well, you know, acting cuckoo.
Yeah, it starts like deteriorating almost, right? I think that's kind of what they say in the film, like something like that. But like, you're right, it's like because they used it on animals, and like the animals started going fucking crazy.
Exactly, and not until he dies in the end, where the chemicals wear off, and you know, so does the invisibility, and it's like poetically tragic. It's like, oh, we're seeing him, his humanity's coming back as well, and he like confesses and, you know, apologizes to his girlfriend, being like, I meddled in things man must leave alone. And it's just it's
forget that I killed
movie.
A whole train full of people.
Yeah,
because we derails that train. I'm like, man, we were laughing, like, because me and my wife, we did that when we were talking about the episode. I'm like, man, the Invisible Man has the highest death count out of all the Universal monsters. He derailed a whole train.
Yeah, you hear like women screaming, like, not just, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was hardcore.
I mean, he says in his speech to Kemp, you know, like, we might even wreck a train or two, or just these hens around the circle.
There's a few murders here and there.
But as little men, or as a great men, just to show we have no distinction.
He's so good in that movie, and you know, in the Phantom of the Opera, like you said, it's kind of, if you look at it now, like that love story in Invisible Man is definitely better, like, and because in Phantom of the Opera, even though he had like the best intentions, like I feel like if people watch it now, it's like, let's see a fucking stalker. He's like kind of stalking this girl that doesn't know like he loves her, and he's like getting her like these music lessons, and he's this guy. So
he's old enough to be her dad, and it's like,
yeah, it's kind of weird, and it's like you're like I like the whole story how they do the Phantom of the Opera origin story where he's getting older, so he's starting to lose his ability to play, and he's playing in this big like orchestra, whatever. But like he's been disguising how he's like kind of losing it, and the one maestro kind of finally catches him and calls him out. And he's like, "Well, if you can't play that note, man, if you can't play this part or whatever, I got to get rid of you." And he's like, "All right, well, it's very tragic.
it is.
It's very I don't know. It's almost Joker-esque, where that one bad day can turn you into something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is too. He had that one bad day where everything decided to go wrong, and he becomes a fucking murderer.
Yeah. Fortunately.
Great movie though.
Hell of a movie.
As I get older, I find it very hard to find people like my age who really like the Universal films. Like they're such part of like pop culture, Americana to me at this point. You know what I mean? They're so recognizable. Like people appreciate them as far as like when they see them. But the actual movies themselves, it's very refreshing to meet someone who actually knows the movies and like talks about them. So The Invisible Man is your favorite. What?
Yeah, even though Dracula was my introduction to them, again, I give thanks to my mom. So we actually rented the Dracula movie on VHS from our library, and this one had the Philip Glass score included.
Nice.
So I didn't watch the original that had no music. I watched one with the Philip Glass score, and I'm like, so when I learned years later that, oh no, the original had no music at all, I'm like, how could it not have music? Like, because that first image you see of Count Dracula standing in the catacombs of his castle, the music is swelling. I remember like getting a chill up my spine, like, holy crap, that's Count Dracula.
Yeah. Even Frankenstein, when you watch these movies and you realize like there's no music, you're like, you know what I mean? It's like very like off-putting almost. Like if you're not accustomed to it.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because it was 1931 that came out, and well, the year's right there. But I think because Lugosi, he performed Dracula prior to that on stage a lot, so maybe they were like having that theater mentality, like, well, we always have music playing, and
I definitely think that has a lot to do with it. Like if you go back and watch these movies, like you can tell they're still all play actors, and they're even approaching it like play actors.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Lugosi is just like playing less, and all he does, he'll just stand there and just give like a look, versus whoever the guy is who played John Harker, like, what the hell's going on?
It's real over the top. It's like the guy playing Harker, like I was laughing at him, and like every time, because he's in The Mummy too. He's the hero in The Mummy, and he plays it the same.
He was in The Black Cat with Lugosi and Karloff.
Yeah, and you know what?
In
The Black Cat, he's actually like not. He's not so overbearing in The Black Cat. He's like, okay, man, you're acting like a normal human being instead of this just like.
Yeah, snobby.
We're going to get out of here, and we're going to be happy. Do you hear me? Like he's just like, all right, man, all right, dude, catch the trolley, take a break. What the fuck?
Taking you out of here. It's like his character always has the same like motive in the movies. Like, I'm in love with this beautiful woman, and there's some creepy men over there. I'm taking her out of here.
Well, it's funny, and I know it because I'm a big White Zombie fan, like the band White Zombie, and I always hear that one sound bite from The Mummy in, I think, Thunder Kiss 65, where it's like, you have to open graves to find girls to fall in love with. He's like, I go back and I watch that conversation in The Mummy. I'm like, dude, you're fucking weird. Like, why are you telling this woman that shit? Like, you're fucking weird. Like, you're talking about like having a crush on these mummy body princesses you're finding. What's wrong with you?
It's not exactly the most romantic conversation I had with a young lady.
No, and this is the 30s. It's like, yeah, this is the 30s, man. Like you're saying some wild shit, bro.
Was that normal back then? Was that normal, suave talk?
I don't
For
know.
gentlemen callers? I don't know. Why is he talking a fake British accent? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. It's like, but now, and like I said, in the Black Cat, he's like, I almost didn't recognize it was him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm so used to seeing you so
Hoity-toity.
and you're actually just acting like a normal human being in this movie.
Yeah. But it was just great to see like Karloff and Lugosi just like share the screen, and they're not playing Dracula and the Frankenstein monster, but they didn't have to. It was like, wow, it just showed more of their range, if anything. And just Lugosi's like speech towards the end of like, have you ever peeled the wings off a fly, and all this stuff, and Karloff is just like so menacing and just like droll in the way he says, like he's not giving any like, he's not hamming it up as the villain or giving like any angry like villain monologues. He's just kind of like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you know, it's like the wind, you can't control it. Like
he just
scary.
Being that character in the Black Cat, he just has such a presence, and like you said, he's just letting his presence just like do all the work in that film, and it works.
Yeah.
If I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you can, Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff have another. They don't have a lot of scenes together, but they have one great scene together in The Body Snatcher.
Okay.
You ever see The Body Snatcher?
I need to look that one up. I got mixed up. At first, I was thinking of the Invisible Ray, which they were in together.
Yeah,
wait, different one.
That's a good one too. But like The Body Snatcher, it's like, what the hell is his name? I want to say it's like Sal Lawton or Val Lawton or whatever. Like basically, they were producing like all these movies at the time. I think The Cat People and Isle of the Dead. It's like all these different kind of more like psychological like horror movies back in like the 40s.
Right.
And,
like The Cat People.
And Boris Karloff was in Isle of the Dead, which is really good. But The Body Snatcher, which was written by, it's based off a short story by the guy who wrote Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh yeah, Robert Louis Stevenson.
Yeah, there you go. It's an awesome fucking movie, man. Like you'll fucking love it. It's great. And you want to talk about Boris Karloff's range and Bela Lugosi's range, because they're both in it, man. Go and watch that movie. I'll look if I got a copy of it. I'll fucking give it to you. Because I'll look real quick if I have a copy. I might have a burnt copy of it, but man, I definitely think Karloff has a better range than Lugosi. But Lugosi, when he could do it, man, he could do it. Like Igor.
Yeah, Igor's a great example.
Igor is like his best role. I like him playing Igor more than I like him playing Dracula. And a lot of people will be like, that's sacrilege. It's like, nah, it's... watch.
I think because they gave him more to do. Like, he had more hearty speeches, and, he was a tragic character, one thing, like, in any performance Lugosi did, it was just the sudden change in expression he would do in his face. He would look very, like, intensely at someone or something, and then he would just slowly shift it to, like, that smile he would do. And, I'm like, man, it's a simple, like, just facial change, but the way he did it was just very, like, menacing and creepy, and just... And Karloff, like, not knocking him by any means, but just both their ranges were different. Like, he just, had his own powerful stare.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I loved just his, like, hearing his, like, speeches, like, the way they both, like, would articulate certain things. Just the way, like, actors talked back then was very eloquent, and I miss that in horror movies. That's what I love about the Hammer ones. They carried that on too.
How much of these movies like inspire you with the films you make?
A great deal. Definitely like pretty much all the characters here. I remember seeing Creature from Black Lagoon as well as when I was a kid, like just snippets of it on TV. And same with the Wolfman. Mainly his transformation where you just see his feet get all furry. I'm like, whoa. But as a little kid, like, that scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, he's turning a wolf. And this is pre me seeing American Werewolf in London, The Howling, where it's like these gnarly transformations where they're screaming, ah!
Still some of the best transformation scenes, like, done today, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But No, sorry, not avoiding your
Oh,
question.
no, that's fine.
ADD.
We get off topic a lot here.
Yeah, the movies of the Universal monsters still have a huge impact on me. For one thing, I just love the classic like black and white look in a horror movie. There's just something. It just sets the atmosphere. It's perfect. There's a simplicity to it, and not for nothing, like a lot of the characters, even though they're monstrous and they do horrible things, like when you read, like, especially Mary Shelley's Frankenstein book or H.G. Wells' Invisible Man, they're tragic characters. They're misfits, you know, like before we, you know, I mean, like if you look at filmmakers like Tim Burton, Guillermo del Toro, like they were influenced too from like, you know, having like monsters be these, you know, sad, you know, misfits that any like outsider can relate to in a way, and I think that's why a lot of people love monsters.
No, I agree.
And X Knight, like, is, you know, he has a tragic past, as you know, a lot of classic superheroes do, but in his origin, in reality, X Knight is known as a little shadow reference there.
Yes.
His name is Paul Spendoli, and his wife tragically died in a fire, and he was trying to save her, but he got part of his face burnt, which is inspired from like Phantom of the Opera, and the Invisible Man. He had a great love for this woman who was like this, you know, glowing light in his dark little world, but she found the good in him and made him see it. So losing her, that's, you know, like in Batman when he lost his parents, or Peter Parker when he lost Uncle Ben, like they lost a loved one, and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna make sure this never happens to anyone else, and he creates the superhero X Knight. But it's that love they had for that person that keeps them, keeps their humanity in check, so they don't let the power go to their head and realize, like, no, it's about helping people, bring hope, and, you know, kind of like what Robert Pattinson's Batman said in the end of his movie, like, I can make a difference here, I can bring hope, and cue the Nirvana song. Yeah. Side note, but yeah, like if the teenage version of me found out, like, whoa, one day there's going to be a Batman movie with a Nirvana song in it, I would have lost my shit.
I know. I never would have thought that. I never would have thought that in a million years.
Yeah.
I never would have thought, like, for one thing, if you would have told me 10 years ago that they're going to make a Batman movie with the Twilight guy and I was actually going to enjoy it, I would have been like, what the fuck are you smoking? I'll have some too.
Right.
But then again, because, like, you know, like a lot of people getting off the beaten path for just a second, like that Batman movie, there's a lot of people don't like that Batman movie. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I get it, because it's so different. Like the characters, especially like the Riddler, it's so different from the book. You know what I mean? Like to make, basically to take the Riddler to make him like the Zodiac killer,
Pretty much.
is like pretty. You know what I mean? Was pretty wild, but I really enjoyed that movie. I love the look of it. I thought Robert Pattinson's Batman was really good. I liked it a lot better. I thought it delved more into the detective side of Batman more than any other Batman film has.
It did, and it definitely has my. I mean, I love the Tim Burton movies. Those are
Me too.
Those are what made me even want to be a filmmaker, was Batman '89 and Batman Returns.
That's so awesome, man.
Like, Keaton will always be my favorite Batman. Pfeiffer will always be my favorite Catwoman. Nicholson Joker, and the list goes on. But no offense to Pat Hingle, who played Commissioner Gordon in those movies, but I think Jeffrey Wright was the best, like, Jim Gordon.
Yeah, like he was great for that movie. I really liked it. I mean, obviously, like when Gary Oldman came on as like Commissioner Gordon, I was like, oh, because that's like more.
Yeah, it's Gary Oldman.
It's Gary Oldman, but it's like my image of Commissioner Gordon will always be like the Commissioner Gordon from Batman the Animated Series, and he best fit that one. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, all the Batman movies except for the two Joel Schumacher ones, I really enjoyed. Like, I really like them. Like Batman Returns, I liked, but I didn't really get like more of an appreciation for it till I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
And I realized, okay, like this is kind of Tim Burton doing more of his film. then I think like the first Batman movie, he was probably getting told a lot what to do by the studio.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Versus Batman Returns, it's like, all right, man, you can make your movie, and he did it.
The first one, it's like, all right, you gotta put these songs by Prince in the movie. You go, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll know where I'm gonna.
I know, like it's
that in here. I guess in the Joker scenes.
It's crazy now. You think about it, it's like it's a Tim Burton film where Prince did the soundtrack. It's just completely does not make any fucking sense. So I mean, it's like Prince and a Tim Burton movie. What the fuck are you talking about?
He wisely though, like if you rewatch it, you hear most of the Prince songs during like Joker scenes, like Party
and it
Man,
fits,
Trust. Yeah, the loudness of Nicholson's Joker. I'm like, all right, they wisely put in the right spot. But yeah, and there was like one song that didn't even make it on the album. It was called "Dance with the Devil" by the Pale Moonlight. The big line that Joker says in the movie. Apparently that was the one song Prince never finished for that album. So like, there's like samples of it on YouTube, but it's interesting if for Prince fans, like it's interesting to listen to. But
I'll go back and check it out because, like I said, I remember being a kid, and I was like, Prince at the party, like it's '99 guy. What's he doing in a Batman movie? This is lame.
Is Batman gonna drive a little red Corvette now, or?
That's right, he did do that song. Yeah. Prince, rest in power, man. Very underrated guitar player, actually.
Yeah, the Batman movie introduced me to Prince because I remember watching like the opening credits and like songs by Prince. I'm like, Prince who? My mom was like, "Oh no, that's his name. He's a musician."
Well, you said so. You're like a child of the '90s, so he might have been the artist formerly known as Prince by then.
He had the symbol.
Who's Prince? It's not. It's this guy now. It's not. He's not Prince. He was Prince.
He doesn't have a name. He just has a symbol.
He just has a symbol now. He hangs out with these guys called the Power Factory or something like that.
As much as I admire the dude as a musician, at the same time, like, man, you're a weird motherfucker sometimes. And some of the stories there, I'm like, all right, you're just gonna go by a okay, you do you, man.
Did you ever hear the story Kevin Smith?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's when I think of like.
He made a documentary for him or something.
He wanted. Prince wanted him to do some documentary or something like that. Like you got to watch what's it on, like the One Night with Kevin Smith or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd seen it. It was so long ago, but yeah, I remember him telling the story about Prince being so weird. And then basketball with Prince and the Chappelle Show.
Yes, which is a real story.
It's like the real Charlie Murphy Hollywood stories. That's like, man.
And according to Dave Chappelle, him and Prince became good friends, and he was like, "Hey, Prince actually loved that sketch." Like so I'm like, yeah, see, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like,
that is pretty
as
cool.
strange as a dude he was, like, hey, he had a good sense of humor.
Exactly, he was
exactly. He wasn't afraid to laugh at himself.
Well, I remember I watched, and we're really getting off topic here, but that's okay. That's what we do here. That's the marvel of horror. It brings us together about all kinds of things. I watched a documentary about Rick James, right? And that's the thing, man. Like, I'm not a big Rick James fan with music, but man, these documentaries are so good. So I was watching this thing.
I think it's just the history of, in
it
general,
is, yeah.
I always like history.
They were talking about when Rick James was like touring, Prince was like up and coming, and Prince was just kind of busting out of the music scene, and he was opening for Rick James, and they had this fucking rivalry going because, like, man, Rick was always like accusing Prince of like copying his shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, Rick James did something with the crowd where he was getting them to go woo woo, like, and it was like making the whole crowd go. But then the very next night, like, Prince is doing it, and Rick James is like, yo, motherfucker, man, you can't steal the woo woo. That's the shit I'm doing. Get your own fucking shit.
I copyright the words woo woo.
So yeah, so they were like, they were having this rivalry tour, and I think it was getting to the point where like they were like unplugging each other's fucking amps and shit. It got like, you know what I mean? Rick James was like, yo, fuck this motherfucker, man. Get him off my fucking tour. Fuck him. It was fucking wild.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. Like, not just like music industry, but like film, any like creative thing is like the whole rivalry, like BS, which it is, and it's like life is short. Like, who cares? Like, we all make films, we all make art. Let's just all be support of one another rather than like, oh, how dare they, make a film
Yeah.
the same time as us or blah 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 blah. It's like, get over yourself.
I get competitiveness if it's going to make like each other better to put out a better product. Like I can understand like that level, but like you said, not like full on like
Yeah,
I'm gonna undermine this person to do my thing or whatnot.
Correct.
Like you said, there's so many ideas out there, and like I said, the whole a rising tide raises all ships. If everybody's making like good product, then the overall attention and focus to like whole thing, like if you're making a great movie and this guy's making a great movie, the whole movie industry is benefiting and fans are benefiting.
Yeah.
Same with music, same with anything really.
Yeah, just be supportive. Something our friend Buzz Hassan told me.
Buzz, love you,
know,
buddy.
Yeah, like one of my comic book mentors. He said, just support local art. Just support them. What else is there to support? War, like that's its own thing.
Yeah, and like
I'm paraphrasing what you said, Buzz. That's the gist of what you said.
and getting to what we were saying about Buzz. Like, man, I've known Buzz. Great friend of the Marvel of Horror, Buzz. Great friend of like the Marvel family. Super cool dude. Always humble, always gracious, and like I said, as far as like always supporting local, always supporting indie people with their stuff, man. Just a fucking awesome guy. Overall, just great human being.
Yeah, heart of gold, and I met him in I'm gonna say 2014, and because he worked at this tattoo store that was near a old convenience store I worked at, so he had all these tattoos of like Venom, Spider-Man. And I was like, whoa, I love that. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. I'm a tattoo artist, and we were talking about comic books, superheroes, and horror movies. So he was a customer, and he said, yeah, my friend Ken Hazier and Blair Smith, we make this zombie comic about a zombie superhero called The Living Corpse. I'm like, wait, you make your own comic? Like, because like I was making little short films, so I knew like, all right, I was teaching myself how to make films, and I was starting to go back to college for film, but making a comic, for some reason, at that time I thought like, oh, you gotta, know the right person or have a certain skill, but like, oh, anyone can do this? Like, so I asked him like, hey, I have this superhero I created called X Knight, and but I don't know how to make a comic. Can I like just do a little documentary of you guys making your comic? It was really just schooling for me, and he was like, oh yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that gets more people to know about our character, and it was the Living Corpse crew, and Josh and James from PLB Comics. I'm gonna give them a little respectful shout out because they're my other comic book mentors. And, they taught me just have fun with it, and that was the main thing. They made it look fun and easy, and that's the beauty of making comic books. Like, from the comparison, like making a comic book to like a film, because not just films I wrote and directed, but I've acted in some of those like Slaughter Beach and The Gifted by Strange Films, and it's fun working with other actors, actresses, crew, and everyone brings like their own energy and like ideas, and plus the movies are different itself. But when you're making a comic book versus a movie you have to take something in reality and manipulate it and change it to look like this fictional idea you have. But it doesn't last forever. Whereas a comic book, you just start with a blank sheet of paper, and your fictional idea is basically born from that. And there's something therapeutic about it, and some very just freeing sometimes. Where as a movie, there's so many like factors that go into it. You have your cast, your crew, various locations. Is the weather going to be okay? And
lighting,
all this,
audio. We were talking about the problems with audio.
Know, right? Yeah, in a comic book, the person reading it is doing their own audio.
Yeah,
they can control their own voice volume. But yeah, like the comic is definitely like there's pros and cons to both. But yeah, that's definitely one of them. Is like, oh, you don't have to worry about all the stress factors, I guess what I'm saying. You're just drawing and then inking your book, and big thing is just making sure you spell check the dialogue and
Frankenstein's been like my favorite ever since I was a kid. So like I think any kind of
Yeah.
like Frankenstein character, like a, you know, Marv or the Hawk, the like under misunderstood like monsters with like strength was always like my thing growing up. I always just gravitated to those characters, probably because of Frankenstein.
yeah, it makes sense, especially with like the Incredible Hulk, because like
Oh,
I
big
remember
time.
and they originally wanted him to be like gray rather
Yeah.
than green, but the printing didn't work, so they changed the color to green. But it's like,
Thank God they did too.
yeah, a great. Even though they would later on have like alternate Hulk that was
Yeah,
gray.
Mr. Fix It.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, it was a callback, I guess. But yeah, they figured out the printing issue by that point.
They got something better than like old newspaper paper, and they're like, all right, well now the gray's not going to completely fade. We can.
He's not a silhouette.
Yeah, and we're not selling as many Green Hawk action figures, so we got to come up with something different. It was a marketing ploy. I think it was even a time where my buddy Clint would know. My buddy Clint's like my Hawk guy. I'm pretty sure like there was even a time where he would only turn into the Hawk at night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, he was beat like, so during the day he was like, okay, so he did that whole monster thing. It was like, okay, during the day he'd be Banner, but at night he'd turn into like the Gray Hawk. So, but yeah, he was like, I don't know, man. For me, when I was a kid, my movie was Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
I remember watching that.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. And I just like, I don't know, like the Frankenstein monster like ripping out of the crate in the beginning, and like when he throws like the Nerf through like the window, I was like, oh man, yeah, that's awesome.
And then the Wolfman, like Dracula turns into a bat, and the Wolfman just catches the bat, and they just fall down to the rocks. I'm like, oh shoot, well,
Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. Right. I was like, how did that kill the Wolfman? That's not silver.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the running water with Dracula, but
even that, like, because I've been rereading the Dracula novel, which is kind of hard to get through. I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is tough because just how it was written. But yeah, it's like in that one, I think it's just like knives that killed him. Which is interesting. Like I mean, not just Dracula movies, but every vampire movie like changes the lore of like, oh, this will kill a vampire. No, that will. And it's like, oh, so you can just, it's whatever.
Well, you brought up earlier when we were taping like the Hammer movies, and I'm so glad because like again, just like the Universals, like I don't meet a lot of people my age or younger who like those movies. Like, I mean, they got an appreciation for them, but to actually like sit and watch them and like want to talk about them is like kind of few and far between.
I think, I've always just loved like older stuff.
Me too.
My dad was born in 1951, so like he introduced me to a lot of like old jazz music, like Artie Shaw and like The Shadow, like the old radio dramas of that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. The Shadow.
Yeah.
But the Hammer films were notorious for like, if you go back and watch them, it's like every movie they specifically came up with a new version, a new way to kill like Dracula. Like, you know what I mean? It was like,
it's also the most brightest red blood you'll ever see.
Oh yeah, yeah, full on like.
Which makes sense historically because those came out like the late 50s and TV is all black and white. So like, all right, color and we're gonna show blood.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like my friend Neil.
I just see like your Peter Cushing Van Helsing figure back there.
Oh man, we'll take
candlesticks. Yes,
we'll take a
favorite Van Helsing.
Yeah, mine too. I think The Mummy gets the least amount of talk out of all these movies.
Yeah, and this isn't the Carla. This is the Karras.
Yes. No. Yes, that's Karras. I
general with
believe what's it? Tom Tyler, maybe. I'm probably saying that guy's name, but that is from The Mummy's Hand.
Nice.
Which I think is the best of the Universal Mummy movies.
I like
just
how
my opinion.
The eyes are like glossy, like they're like kind of like sparkling in the light.
Well, I
It's
think.
like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
And I'm gonna tag him in this, the artist who did this, because he's the same guy who did this one.
Oh wow.
And I got a Lugosi over there that he did.
Very gentle.
Yeah.
Just want to look at the detail. Wow,
No
look at
problem.
that.
But I think he did that because in that movie, The Mummy's Hand, I guess they kind of like did the like they kind of drew over the eyes and post to give them more like like in Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, how the bat looks, kind of how like they drew the bat.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
During when he transforms. Yeah.
Exactly. I believe they did that to his eyes, just to give it that look in the movie.
That's cool.
Because when you go back and look at it, you feel like the eyes, like, even though they're black, it's almost like they're kind of moving. It just gives like a real creepy effect almost. Yeah. I think that's why the artist did like the glossiness over the eyes for that piece.
That makes sense. I love techniques that they did in those old movies, because
so do I, man.
They're inventing stuff, you know, and Lon Chaney Sr., like the original Phantom of the Opera, like, I mean, pre Jack Pierce, who did Frankenstein Monster, Dracula, and and the Wolfman, like, I mean, Chaney Sr. was the guy. Like, he was a talented silent film actor, but he did his own makeup.
Yeah, he had his own like
Man with a Thousand Faces.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things the Universal monster movies were notable is they weren't allowed to show a lot of any blood, but they didn't need it, the atmosphere. But even horror movies that are a bit graphic, but they know like less is more. Like, we don't need to show the actual killing happening. It's just the aftermath. Like Seven did that brilliantly, and David Fincher's a genius. And Seven's one of my favorite movies, but it's my favorite horror movie, actually.
I was waiting for the segue to go into Seven because I know you were talking about that, and I wanted to get into that. And I like you, and less is more.
Yeah.
Like, it's more perverse to me to make the room but let the audience fill it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the original Cape Fear is actually more terrifying than like the, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a solid movie, but the Scorsese one.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch the old one, the stuff that's implied is way more disturbing than what is actually like seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like I said, it's using the audience against itself. It's like, it's really like it's really holding a looking glass up to the audience. Like, how dark, I didn't really show you anything. What are you imagining happening? How dark is like what's inside of you that we're manipulating for the film? Like, I like that. I like that better. I think that works better for films.
It does. Like in Seven, because one of the victims of the John Doe serial killers, he labels one of the 7 deadly sins with his victims, and when he gets to lust, he goes after this prostitute.
Yeah.
And how he has her killed, and the guy who's the victim, as much as a victim as the prostitute who was killed, like, dude, like, A, brilliant acting on that actor's part, but B, like, that is horrific. Like, again, that movie just shows the aftermath of the killings. It never shows the actual killing, and years later, the Saw movie will come out, which basically is like 7. I always say, like, it's like 7, but
very inspired by 7. I'll definitely
in my opinion. No offense to Saw fans, but I'm like, Saw has to show, ooh, look at the guts and this and that. Where 7's like, you don't need to show that. What you show in the aftermath is enough. That's like, oh shit, they made that fat guy till his belly burst and all this. And,
well, like, again, if it's done correctly, which Fincher did perfectly.
The Pride victim, this like beautiful like woman, I guess she was a model or something, but like John Doe like
sawed her nose off
and did like a phone to her hand and pills in the other. Like, you can call for help and you'll be disfigured, or he can take.
Did a messy job too. Like, that's the guy. Like, he just did it real rough. He what I mean. He wanted to make it so just like bucking.
And you don't see like there's bloody bandages, and you just see like the forensic guy just unraveling them. You just see like close up shot of her eyes, but you never see like the actual like. And you see like Brad Pitt's character, Detective Mills, like just turn away in disgust. Like, or a lot of horror movies now, like, oh, let's show it, let's show all
Yeah,
the
they
blood,
gotta
guts,
show it.
It's like, no, you don't. Like, that was very effective, but that's just me.
No, I agree, man. Like I said, Seven's one of those movies where, like, I consider it a horror movie, but certain, like, I feel like Seven's like Silence of the
Yeah.
Lambs, where depending on who you talk to, it's either a horror movie or like a thriller
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like it's
It is. Even like just showing like a character like getting shot or sliced or something, and you just see like their blood splatter somewhere, or it's just very like quick death. Or if you see like them get stabbed or something, it's like very brief. It doesn't drag out like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I remember seeing Seven, and Seven, I believe. I'm trying to think of what year it was. I almost want to say it was like what
95. Same year as Batman Forever.
Oh,
Two
God.
very different movies.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I remember seeing Seven for rental. It came out, and I was at a friend's house. Well, actually, me and a friend were staying at like his aunt's in like the Poconos, and it was like, yeah, and I forget how old I was. I want to say I was like maybe 13 or 14, something like that. And it was like, yeah, you want to watch this movie Seven? I'm like, oh yeah, it looked like, I remember seeing a trailer, and trailer on TV didn't really show you much. Like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman was like real big at that time. Like Brad Pitt was still
Yeah.
kind of like, Brad Pitt was like, oh man, the Interview with the Vampire guy, he cut all his hair off. What the fuck?
He got buzzed. And yeah, Morgan Freeman, yeah, he was just coming off of Shawshank and driving his days.
Shawshank, yeah, like Morgan Freeman was like blowing up, man. And he I think after Seven, he made like Kiss the Girls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so I remember watching it, and it was at that age I was watching Seven. And I was like, I feel like I'm watching something I'm not supposed to be watching. And that's a movie where like the more you go into the movie, like the fucking darker it's getting.
Yeah.
Like you really get that the first kill is horrific. The second kill they kind of really quickly like gloss over.
The lawyer.
But even that one, like you said, you don't see much, but they only talk about what happens. Like, okay, he fucking cut the guy's guts out and let him fucking bleed to death.
Yeah,
it's
pound
pretty
of flesh.
it's pretty fucking horrific. But they kind of gloss over that one. But man, but then when you get to the third one, Sloth,
Yeah.
the drug dealer,
There's
and
a
then in the
pederast.
Lust, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? And when it's all over, it's like Seven's one of those movies when it's all over, it's like, I need a shower. This is like, man, like I've seen something I can never unsee.
Yeah.
And
It's crazy to think, like, the ending, we know it's his wife's, unfortunately, her head in the box, but, like...
spoilers. It's only been like 20, 30 years.
It was May 95, okay? We don't need to say
You've had
spoiler
your
alert.
chance.
Yeah, originally they tried changing that ending. And when David Fincher apparently wasn't the original director, they wanted Guillermo del Toro.
Really?
And he turned it down from what I... apparently, like, he thought it was too dark. The movie was too dark or something. So he passed on, and David Fincher had only done Alien 3 at that point. And so, but they mistakenly sent Fincher, like, the original draft of Andy Walker's script that had the head in the box. And he's like, hey, I love this. And, like, this is dark, how fragile the humanity is and all. Like, I love this head in the box. And they're like, oh, shit, we sent you the wrong draft. We're changing the ending. It's too dark. He's like, but I like that ending.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt was the one who told them, like, hey, I'm going to walk if you change that ending. So Fincher's vision is what we're doing. And so, yeah, Brad Pitt, like, and it was Brad Pitt's idea, like one of his idea, but he helped get Kevin Spacey involved. Like, Fincher was like, yeah, I wanted Spacey to play John Doe, but, the studio kept running me around the block about his acting fee or whatever. And Brad Pitt told him, he's like, hey, when are we getting Kevin Spacey? And because he said it, they're like, oh yes, Mr. Pitt, that's a great idea.
Well,
We'll hire
thank
him
God
tomorrow."
for that. Well, thank God for that. 'Cause that's one of those movies where, as fucked up as the movie is, it's almost a perfect film.
It is. I agree.
And I think if you would have changed any of those components you just said, you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been as impactful as it. I mean, that's like an impactful fucking movie, man. That's one of those
Yes.
movies where it's like,
It also has one of the best like opening credit sequences.
yeah,
It's like Tim Burton's known for that with his movies, like Beetlejuice, Batman and Edward Scissorhands, like um, of like you can get very creative with the opening credits rather than just white text on a black background. You can like no, you can have fun with it. You can show the audience the world that they're about to enter, and Seven did that through the journals of John Doe.
it definitely set the tone. It definitely set the tone for like what you're, like you said, the way that movie starts, it just fucking starts hitting the ground running, man.
Yeah,
Like you're already in a world of like,
and apparently there was an original opening scene. If you get like the DVD like double disc, like it's one of the bonus features, because Morgan Freeman's character, Detective Somerset, is the older detective of the two of them, and he wants out of the city. He's seen too much, so he's thinking of retiring and just living out on like a farmhouse. So the opening scene was him at that farmhouse talking to the realtor, and it's a beautiful scene. And David Fincher was like, I loved what the scene said about him as a character, but the reason why they cut it was originally it opens with Detective Somerset visiting this ranch house, talking to the realtor, and say, "Oh, this is a great place," and has this hopeful look in his face. And then it cuts to him riding like a train back into the city, into the depths of the chaos and all that. And he's like, all right, we're going to film that when we go to New York. And he told the producers of New Line Cinema, and they're like, I beg your pardon, New York? You ain't filming there. So you ain't going to have that sequence. So Fincher's like, shit. All right, well, he had to rework it.
the fucking permits and all the shit you fucking need to do anything there as far as like a movie goes.
It's insane.
It's fucking insane, yeah.
That's why the Jason Takes Manhattan was only filmed like that much in New
Oh,
York
yeah, I
City.
know,
Like,
right?
Oh man.
Talk about a movie that like.
Oh, real quick. Speaking of Kane Hodder, he did stunts in Seven.
Did he really?
Yeah. He apparently. So the scene in Seven where Detective Mills running over the cars, and he slips in on the window and break. Apparently he worked on that day. So yeah, Brad Pitt actually fell and like cut his arm. Like he's like, so his character having that arm cast, that wasn't in the script. That was just we had to add that to continuity because he really like
No
hurt his
shit.
arm. Yeah, so I was like, whoa, Kane Hodder worked on it, and he apparently was one of Two-Face's goons in Batman Forever. I'm like, Kane Hodder not only played Jason Voorhees and Victor Crowley, he worked on Seven, and he fought Batman.
See, now
This man's a legend.
now I gotta go back and fucking watch Batman Forever. I really don't want to do that, but I have to. Like, I gotta watch that. I'll YouTube that scene.
My apologies. Yeah, when I met him, I meant to ask him, but I was so like starstruck. But yeah, I'm like, oh, what scene specifically were you one of the goons? Because there's a million of them. They all wear like the red and black.
Oh yeah.
Call him Face, and I don't know. In terms of like comic book movies, I just love that where the bad guy has his thugs, his henchmen. Whatever.
It's very old school.
Yeah.
It's very old school. That's that to me like having the goons and stuff like that. Batman Forever, like that was such like a nod back to like the Adam West Batman show.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think you know what I mean. And
Even
like I said, I
in
like
Batman
that.
Returns and Batman '89, like they had like Joker's right hand man, Bob, you my number one guy.
I need a moment alone, boys. How about someone didn't tell me you have one of those things? Bob Gunn. You made it. I forget the actor's name, but you may know that actor from such classic films as Conan the Destroyer and Repo Man.
Yes, Tracy Walter.
I think so.
Yeah, and him and Paul Rubens were in Matilda as the FBI agents. And Paul Rubens, Penguin's dad.
There you go. Yeah, and so was the The mom was Sloane, right?
In Matilda?
No, and in
Wait,
Batman, in Batman Returns, Penguin's
Yes,
parents, wasn't it
yes.
Paul Rubin and the one who
Simone.
plays Simone? Yeah,
Yes. Sorry.
that's okay.
Got my Tim Burton. Wait, I was like, oh, wait, no.
I-
Dan DeVito directed Matilda. Blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
still trying to figure out how she took a bus to Paris.
Well, she took it to an airport and then flew.
I don't know, man. When you
to
say
Paris.
when he goes up to the when Andy's at the thing, it's like bus to Paris, just left. It's like they're literally acting like the bus is going to Paris. I'm like, how is that possible?
I never picked up on that detail. I think because I was just busy laughing because.
Andy!
Andy!
Andy! It's funny, my father-in-law's name's Andy.
I have a cousin named Andy. And
Andy!
I try not to laugh when I see him at family functions. I'm like, Andy! I might have to bring it up to him. I'm like, he's older than me. I was like, hey, so not for nothing, but you remember the Pee-wee Big Adventure movie? Or the Andy character? Okay. It's not that I'm laughing at you. It's just, it's a funny scene. That's all.
I know you probably get a lot of like it from Toy Story, but to me, it's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Andy, pick up your toys. Buzz!
Do you have a bunch of toys with Andy written on the foot? Black magic marker?
I never did that with my toys.
Neither did I. I had to go to Philly to see Snatch. The
Is that the Guy Ritchie movie?
Guy Ritchie movie with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Going back to 7, Brad. Yeah, I had to go to Philadelphia to see that movie.
The fuck I want a caravan with no wheels.
Yeah. Hey, back.
Dogs. Oh, dogs. Yeah, dogs.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
He is. My friend Josh described Brad Pitt perfectly. He's like, he is the greatest character actor trapped in a leading man's body. I'm like, you know what? That ain't. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that is like 100% accurate. I like Brad. For a long time, I was like, fucking Brad Pitt plays the same and everything. But now I'm like, nah, man, he's actually like really good. And I actually saw, like, going back to 7, I saw a recent interview with Kevin Spacey. Now that Kevin Spacey's like kind of been cleared of all that stuff,
Right.
he's like kind of doing. Now he's actually doing the rounds and like getting back out more.
Yeah, I saw some interviews on it.
But he was on a guy's podcast, and they were, the guy was asking them questions about 7, and he was talking about like when they were going to do that end scene. They were all like at a hotel. They were staying like close to the site, like close to where they were going to film, and they were rehearsing like the night before. And Kevin Spacey was just like, I remember like it was so hard to do that scene because you wanted so bad to react to how good Brad Pitt was like playing that scene, like the struggle and everything he was doing, and you know what I mean, like being in the scene, it was like you, as an actor, like you wanted to react to it so bad because it was so good, and he was just like commenting on how good like Brad Pitt was, and how like them rehearsing the night before, how they came up with how they were going to do that scene and the facials and everything he was doing. And Kevin Spacey was just like, I just remember like doing rehearsing the night before, I was like blown away. And then we like got to set, and it was like, wow, man, he's basically saying, Brad Pitt doesn't get enough credit for like how good he really is, at least back then. That because he was still like even when 7 came out, he had done Interview with the Vampire, he'd done Legends of the Fall. He was like that. Before that, he was like the hot guy in Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he he had that image. He couldn't. He had that like Hollywood heartthrob image kind of still.
And then 7, and he did 7, then like
Fight
12
Club.
Monkeys, and Fight Club.
12 Monkeys, man. He's great in that movie.
Yeah, monkey business.
Man. He was.
Yeah, and that was filmed at the asylum scenes were filmed at Eastern State Penitentiary in Philly.
Were they really?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow, Brad
Look at that
Pitt
trivia.
and Bruce Willis were here. That's pretty cool.
Well, Bruce Willis, man, he's done a couple films in he's done a couple films in Philadelphia.
Sixth Sense, and I wouldn't have come on your One Ring on your. It's almost like a Dracula ring. Almost.
Oh yeah,
like,
it is.
Oh, that's.
It's a prop.
Nice.
It's a prop.
Montreal, I was like, oh, it looks like some Christopher Lee's Dracula
Yeah.
or Dracula.
He actually,
I'm
so
like,
he,
nice.
so Christopher Lee actually wears like the all. It's the same like emblem or whatever, but he wears it like the all silver. I got the red.
Yeah, the red's cool though.
It does, yeah, it fits.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I went to St. Anthony of Padua grade school, I remember Bruce Willis and Demi Moore were like still married. They were trying to film a movie in Wilmington, and they even had like, so my school, St. Anthony of Padua, was like, I guess they were using like what was our lunchroom as like one of the scenes, but I don't think the movie ever got like, the movie never saw like the light of day. But Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, I believe, were filming in Delaware, Wilmington, for a movie. Just figured I'd throw that out there because I'm a big Delaware guy. Love Delaware.
Yeah, same here. Born and raised.
First in the Union, best in the East.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that t-shirt made. You heard it here first, so nobody steal my idea. God damn it.
Copyright Bruce Marvel.
That's right. But again, my man, thank you for coming by.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, you got to come back on. I'll have you again for another 3 hours.
Hell yeah, I'm down.
Find us at the Marvel of Horror podcast on YouTube. Like, subscribe. We're on Spotify too, and we may have merch. I know. Real deal. Authentic, like we know what we're doing. But thanks again, and I'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.